Alright, this is going to be the Career Build Series Part 70. So continuing work on the Katydid. We're left off, widened the Katydid, made a new cabin, new winch system. Have dual winches. I'll be going down the center, and then the rescued person will be coming up on the side here. So let's go ahead and continue work on this. So I want to start getting into this engine here. I'm going to kind of just, I think I'm going to start ripping out this engine. I have a new engine. I have a new engine bay here. I need to rethink a lot of the spacing here, and so one of the nice things was I redid a bunch of the space, or increased the space, let's put it that way. And so increasing the space really helped me to get where I needed to be, so that we can actually make this more functional. So that's what I want to do here, is work on that. And so I'm going to kind of take out any of the parts here, and that way I can go back in and redo this and make this actually function a little bit better for what our needs are. Alright, so now as you can see, I've kind of stripped out everything but the space. So now I'm going to start rebuilding. So I need to put some block here. Alright, so that's kind of my space. That's what I'm working with here. I have that space there to do whatever I need. Alright, so let's get moving on this. So first thing we need is I need to get up to like a 9-to-1 gear ratio on the propeller. So that's one of the reasons I did this. Let me quickly see if I like putting more of a sharp nose around this, to hide the gearbox a little bit. The gearbox isn't terribly atrocious, but I'd like to hide it a little bit if I can. It's the arrow. Again, I wish we could select those on. You know what would be great? The only time we need to see the arrow is when we're in the build. So like right now, see all the grid lines? I can come over here and I can disable grid lines, and that's going to tell me what it's going to look like in the world. My desire from the devs would be make both the dot on the weight blocks and make the arrows on the gearboxes so that it's the same thing. So in the editor, you can see them when the grid lines are turned on or have their own button. And then when they're in the world, you can't see those dots. That would be so good. Then you don't have to worry about trying to paint the weight blocks or anything else. So I like this. This is looking better with me actually kind of thinning this nose out. And then that's also going to allow me to cut out some block here. Like that. Okay, beautiful. Alright, so that's good. That's going to give me double... That's going to give me double the, what do you call it? The ability to have more gearing in there. Alright, so I also want to get that center of gravity further forward, so I might put a flywheel on this engine too. Alright, so next what we need to do is we need to get some power off of this. So I'm going to put in a pipe here. And I think the most, can't go there because of the hatch. So I'm trying to see where I can route some power. So I think I'm going to be routing power on the right side because this is where my hard wall is. This has the door. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a T-piece here. That's going to route that there. And then I want to start putting in my modular engine. We have plenty of room for weight ballasting in here. So that's going to go like that. Then I want a flywheel. This is going to really help to drag the weight forward. If we look at the 1x1 flywheel, it is 100 weight. So as you can see, that starts to drag that center of gravity forwards. Alright, so we're going to go radial. So I need my, where are you at? My belt drive here. Not my belt drive, my crankcase is what I want. Crankshaft. Okay, there we go there. And then I'm going to start putting some cylinder heads on here. So it was 8 cylinders before. I'm going to stick with that. Alright, so it's, kind of a little annoying doing a rebuild, but should be able to make this function much better with a rebuild here. Alright, and then so fuel shouldn't be a problem when we get to that. Let's see what I want to do here. I want to put, I think, one more crankshaft piece. That's going to allow me to have space for my pump. And then a belt drive. I just need alternator, starter, pump. Okay, so that's good. Then I want fuel here, so I'm going to do, can I get a large in there? If I get a large in there, that would be great. I don't think I can. How far am I off on putting a large in there? Yeah, considerably. I'm considerably off. How wide is a large? Trying to find a place to sit it so that I can see. Yeah, it's wide as the craft, so medium's fine. Okay. Alright, and so that's one medium in there. It's a little less fuel than I like, and that actually is interfering with what I need for my crankshaft. Alright, so I think I'm going to do an electric pump. I'm going to have to probably anyway. So let's just do... We're going to cut down the range, but I think this should be pretty fuel efficient as it is. And then I want to flip this around here. Alright, so that will go like that. And I can put some small tanks in there to supplement if I need to. Alright, so that's in now. Alright, so let's see where we're at here. So I think we'll put a starter on here. And then I'm going to do 2 alternators. These often don't use that much electricity. These types of craft don't use that much electricity. And they're also, you're at a higher RPM more often, so that helps with electrical generation as well. Alright, so that's starting to look pretty good here. So I think what I'll do is here on the rotor is going to have its final gearbox. Okay, that can be a square piece. This is... Okay, I can route there, I think. Nope. Okay, I can route here. Nope. There. Okay. Alright, so I'm just kind of checking the routing here. And I just undid a bunch of stuff I shouldn't do because I have to worry about symmetry with the door. So let's take symmetry off. Alright, so I'm just talking to myself for routing. I want to make sure I can put a gearbox up on the rotor by itself. And so that I can do. And then I'll put a separate gearbox in the tail rotor, for the tail rotor. Alright, so this is what I'm going to start doing here is symmetry's off. I'm going to start cutting in and trying to get my plumbing done again because I undid all my plumbing. So let's start working on that. Okay, so that's going to come plumbing right here, right by where that gap is by the seat, so that's fine. Alright, so I'm just kind of talking myself through this here. I need to be able to send this power back to both the rotor and the tail rotor, so that's what I'm presently doing here. And so I actually kind of like the notion of this being exposed. I think it looks kind of cool. Looks kind of cool. You're having a little bit of exposed piping in the inside of your helicopter. So that's what this is going to be. A little bit of detail, and it also is functional. So, some things it's good to hide. Some things, you don't need to necessarily hide to make it look kind of industrial. So this is going to be the power for the rotor here. Alright, so that's my power for my rotor there coming up, and I like that you can see it. And then this here, okay, I'm just trying to see where I can go in here. Okay, so that's how I'm going to get to my tail, is through here. Okay, let me see. Can I go down here? Okay, so that can't. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the power out here. Where can I go there? I'm trying to see. Oh, see, this is ugly where I'm at here. Right here I can go. Okay, so I'm just doing routing here, trying to get how I can get the power from where I need to be to where it needs to go. Wow, okay, that's fine, that's there. Okay, good. So I'm starting to figure this out where I can go here and where I can't go. Okay, so I'm gonna try to change the way this looks a little here. That's good like that. Yeah, so that's not looking as harsh now, so I can take those out. Yeah, so that's good because this area is going to be covered in here. Okay, so that's good like that. You know, as long as it's something kind of RP that's coming in there, you know, it doesn't look as unfinished. I can't go in there yet. Okay, so I'd already decided where I want it. I want it up here. Okay, so we're going to put a T-pipe. So this here is going to be the start of where the it has to go up higher. Right here is where I decided. Okay, so this needs to be a T-piece here. And hopefully I have enough space over my seat to make this work. I do, thank you. That would have been a pain. Alright, so now we're getting moving here with routing this power through to the tail. Might run into some issues here, but I could probably go through the floor at some point. I just need space to do it. Okay, I can run it under the seat. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to go here, run it under the seat into the floor. Okay, beautiful. All right, so this is routing the tail rotor power so that we have tail rotor power. All right. All right, so perfect. So this is going to be how I get my tail rotor power. And then under seat there's going to be storage, so it doesn't really matter if you if I cut into it a little bit. And then let's see, I need to get into this back wall here. So to run this here, I need to get, where is here? That's there, okay. Alright, so this part here is just me trying to get some power out to the back. Okay, so there we go. That's how I'm getting to the back for the tail rotor. Alrighty. Alright, so here's how we're going to get, I'm going to do another exposed pipe piece. That'll be just kind of a point of interest. You kind of expect for, you know, like real life helicopters and planes have plumbing and whatever going through the cabins often, so that's not a big deal. It's not going to be out of the question there. And then this is where my tail rotor hooks in here. So we need to go to here, which can be a downward section. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and for, you know, to be able to put some microcontrollers in there, I want... Alright, let's go like this. We have plenty of space in here for micros now, or we should have plenty of space for microcontrollers if we're smart. And like I was saying, it's good to make sure that you keep your microcontrollers in, especially in like a helicopter or plane, something that's going to be small. Keep them on the smaller side, then you have plenty of place to hide them. As you can see, I can hide a 3x2 here easy, a 3x2 here easy, a 3x2 there. You know, if I was trying to put a bunch of huge ones in there, I'm going to start running into problems. Alright, so now our tail rotor is powered. Alright, so we have power coming out, and then any of this block here, so what I'm going to do here is I can put a gearbox. I'll just put one in. Alright, so I can put a gearbox here, and now I can, so each section, I can gear the prop, the rotor, and the tail independently so that I can set their gear ratios to be where they want for reasons of stability and everything else. You know, if I speed up that tail rotor, I can do things like not having a, you know, I can reduce number of blades, stuff like that. So, all right, so we're starting to get to the point here where we're, you know, where we have some, our plumbing is starting to get back to done. So I'm just going to fill in this side for now. Probably shouldn't, but that side's filled in. So I kind of like the different widths here. Something I'll often do on helicopters is have a different width on one side than the other. Alright, so now this is in there. I could do this. It's not the best of ideas to put your fuel this far forward because, you know, you want it as close to the center of gravity because that's a point that's going to start draining, but I think we'll be fine here. So that will get me back to 2 tanks. I have plenty of space for that. I need to put in a radiator, so you know, one thing I've done before on helicopters and planes, I do an exposed radiator like this, which doesn't look bad, but I think on this one I'm going to do it enclosed. And so let me check my spacing here. So that's 4x3, so I can put a 3x3 in there. I'm just going to put it in, and then I'll think about how I'm going to orient it and plumb it. I can move it. All right, what's that? Okay, perfect. So I can use some of these wall sections, I think, to plumb some of that through. So let's do a... trying to think of how to do a cooling loop here. I'm just trying to count the blocks to see where I'm at with cooling loop. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's put in our manifold. So I think the manifold should probably go in the front because I need better access to air and everything. So let's start putting our manifold pieces in here. I'll do symmetry. And then this one, let's not do symmetry. I'll walk through it here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to do symmetry here, and then I'll work on this. Alright, so these 2 banks talk, these 2 banks talk. Now all these 4 banks talk. Now these 3 sets of banks talk, and now we need this last bank to talk. Okay, so there, all of our banks are talking. Actually didn't even need that one. We don't need this one here because I already put that on. So all our banks are talking to one another. So that's our 8-cylinder there. Alright, so fuel is going to be this one here, I think. Alright, where is the fuel? There it is. Okay. Alright, so fuel is now connected. Air is going to be, I need to be able to supercharge the air. So what I want to do here is I think take a cross here, put the air there, and then I need an impeller. And then I'm always going to end up screwing up which side's what. Okay, that's it there. So that goes like that. And what is this? That is fluid in. That's fluid out. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do, that's an angle. Okay, so that's, see, I think I'm going to do it on the other side, so I only have to put 2 pieces here like this. Okay, so that's going to go like that. Then I'm going to punch a hole in here. I'll actually punch 2 holes and I'll make them symmetrical just for looks. Fluid is going to be, actually, you know what I want to do? I don't want to do it there. Let's actually do it like this. Take symmetry back off. I kind of want an air filter in there. There's been issues with rain where it's causing you not to be able to. There's been issues with rain where you can't make it work right. So the rain's been essentially choking it out, so the engine thinks it has water in it. All right, so that is fluid out. That's fluid in. That's perfect. That's what I want. Okay. I like having some asymmetry in here. Alright, so we're going to route to the air, which will be here. Okay, let me just, I think I'm going to send it up. I want to have like an access door, so I don't want to make this completely where I can't get to it. I want to have an access door. And I still need to route the coolant, so I need to keep that in mind as well. Alright, and then this here will be, do our air. And then that can be piped right to there. Alright, so that's our air done with a supercharger. And then I still have space here for an access door, which I like. It's kind of a cool feature. Okay, there we go. Still have nice room for an access door. Alright, now we need to worry about cooling. Okay, so let me check. I'm going to actually delete some block out here just so I can see both sides. Alright, so now I need to worry about cooling this sucker. Alright, so I think I'm going to have to use an impeller pump to cool it. It's not horrific, but it's not ideal either. This has more than enough. This should have more than enough power. When I had this built up before, we had plenty of power, so use an impeller for cooling here. Again, every time I get that wrong, which orientation it has here. Okay, so that is, it's going to be impossible to see this. I'm going to have to delete out. So that is what? That's fluid out. That should be torque. That is torque. Okay, we're good. And then that is here is going to be fluid. Fluid in, fluid out. And that is torque. Perfect. Okay, and so this needs to be rotated. Let me see, can I cut this out? I can cut this out. Okay, so this needs to be rotated like that. Alright, so the water's coming out of the radiator. And then I need to go in through a... I have some... I don't want to put too much of my dash. I should be able to cut into this dash a little bit here. Yeah, see, like all this can go. Yeah, all that can go. And then I can actually route through my dash if I need to. And then I still have a bunch of no's here. Beautiful. This might cause me a problem. I might need to bring this down a block. That's not a huge deal. Actually, I'm going to preemptively bring this down a block. And then do air. That still gives me a big enough access door that I'm happy with it. You know, again, it's just for RP. It's just an access door. It's not actually something we need. I need that space there, I think. Yeah, I'm going to need this space here, so I'm going to go like this for the routing of this air. Yep. So that still gives me enough of an access door that I'm happy I can kind of look at my engine. Alright, so that's routed. Alright, so we need to do the final routing for coolant here. Alright, so there's there. That is that. Alright, so let's work on this cooling. So this is going to come out of the radiator and needs to go through a cooling manifold. So let's go manifold, straight section manifold. This goes up like this. We need a cooling manifold. There's a cooling manifold. Cooling manifold is going to sit like that. Okay. And this is going to go like this. Alright, so that's plumbed through the cooling manifold. And then we need to go back through this cooling manifold back into the other side, which is right here. So that's nearly done. Alright. And then the last one we have is exhaust, which, watch that be a pain to try to find space for. Oh, wrong way. Okay, and there we go. That is going to be plumbed for cooling there. Okay, and that should be all done. Alright, so now our coolant is plumbed. So the last thing we have is exhaust, which is fine. We can come right out here with exhaust. So I think I'm liking an exposed exhaust here. So what I'm going to do is do exhaust here. I want a cat though, so what I'll do is go Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to expose it, but I was going to do it on the side, but I think I'm going to do it underneath. Because anyways, if you had exhaust on the side here, it would be putting soot all over the side. We have a nice flat bottom, so go ahead and exhaust the bottom. So now I need a cat. Cat's going to go on the exhaust here like so, and then I need to punch a hole underneath here. Straight piece there, and then we'll do an angled. And then I want to put a air. Do I want to put a huge air exhaust on there? I don't think I do. I think that's too much. Yeah. I think we'll just do an exhaust like that. Alright, and there's my exhaust. Alright, so that's looking pretty good there. Alright, and then this side, I'm not going to bother with an inspection hatch on both sides. This will be where my inspection hatch is here. So I'll do a pivot. And it will start in the closed position. You see how big this see how big this is. Yeah, that's overly big. So okay, so I might make that paint blocks or something. All right, so that's my inspection hatch there. All right, so I think we're pretty well plumbed up. I need a battery. Okay, so where are we at? We need to check the mass here. Mass is still back, which is fine. So let's what's this battery weigh? Can't weigh much. 10. 10 for 2 blocks. That's terrible. Yeah, 60. I don't need that much battery. Okay, so I'm gonna go symmetry. I'll put 2 of them in there, like so. I'll go ahead and put 3 batteries in. It's not. I don't need all 3 batteries. We could do it with 1, but that'll give me more sitting time. Also, that's dropping the center of gravity down quite a bit. Okay, good. So that's that. Now I'm going to see if I have some ballasting room, which I do. I have a good bit of ballasting room in here, as you can see. So let's go weight blocks. Again, I wish you could, I would do this whole floor pan if I needed to, weight blocks, if they would make it so you could only see the dot in the editor. I could make the belly of this helicopter, I could make the belly. See, I can't see where I put the weight blocks. Oh, that's what the fuel tank. I'm inside the fuel tank. Okay, that's fine. So there's 2 there. I can put a couple here. Put a couple here. And I can put a... Actually, you know what I want to do? Where I can put 3. So, what did I just erase? Gotta be careful here. Okay, there we go. I think I deleted my fuel tank. Yeah, I deleted the fuel tank. So anywhere there's 3 here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in battle cannon pieces. They weigh 40, so they actually weigh more. They're more dense, so I'm just going to put in a couple weight blocks here. And I'm going to take battle cannon. If we look at battle cannon barrels right here, that weighs 40. And it's 3 blocks. So if I'm going to put in 3 blocks worth of weight blocks, I want to put in a battle cannon instead. Why won't you fit? It should fit in there. It's being difficult to see right now. Alright, so let's try to put these in. Let me make sure I'm grabbing the right ones. It should have 3 space. I don't know why I can't fit the battle cannon in there. Yep, so that should fit in there. There we go. Okay, so those 2 are in there. That's going to add some weight. And as you can see, look where my center of gravity is. It's almost right under the rotor blade. Alright, so that is good. So making the nose a little bit bigger helped. I like the pointier nose around the prop. Now, if you look at our gearing, we have dual gearbox. So we can go up to a 9-to-1 ratio on this pusher prop. We have an independent gearbox for the main rotor, and we have an independent gearbox for the tail rotor. If I need to slow which I shouldn't need to slow the tail rotor down, but I could flip it around. But so I can independently control all of these parts with gearboxes. That's much better for tuning. All right, so let me start hooking some stuff back together. What is this? This is a rescue door. This is junk. I'm making a new door, much simpler. That can go. This can. Oh, that can't go. That's controlling this door now. Let me look at this. This doesn't need to be as complex anymore. Toggle to the door. No more velocity pivot. Electric hatch should be on here. Yep. So now what I'm going to do is let me move this like this. I'm trying to think how I want to do this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that electric hatch. Let's go in here, and all I need is the door for right now. That can go away. Okay, so now this can be, I can shrink this, which is part of the reason why I did that. Okay, so that's now main door. Okay. So that's there. That's much smaller. This here should be the this door here. So let's rebuild this door. And I'm going to have it rotate forwards. So I need to think about that window. That shouldn't be a problem now. Get off symmetry. Alright, so let's go like this. And I need a pivot. And I want to let me see if I can put a two-sided toggle on here. I don't like them. They're not very attractive, but you know, it helps. It's going to give me some space here. I think we should have plenty of room in the cockpit for all the stuff we need. Then we'll put a couple panels here. Put 3 panels like that, and then what I'll do is I'll put a window. What was that? That's a 3x3 window. Window 3x3. So that 3x3 window will go on like that. And now the way I have the new pivot set up, that should be able to open with that. And then this here can go. Yeah, by having that window on the outside like that, it lets me put panels here that can accommodate it like that. Okay, so now we've got the cockpit rebuilt. Cockpit door rebuilt, rather. Alright, so this is going to go to the door hinge there. This is going to go to the toggle. This might be backwards. Let me spawn it and see. Okay, it's going to default open for us, and then... Okay, so I need to fix that. Alright, so we'll go in here and we'll just swap this up. Cockpit door. Okay, logic. Alright, so I want it to be... I want it to start in the closed position, which will be 0. And then I want to go to a max of let's say 8.5. Alright, let's try the door now. There we go. Has a little bit of a, it doesn't open all the way. Let me get up in here and jump in our seat. As you can see, that's good. I think I might be able to still put, I don't know, I'll put the panel over here or something. Alright, good. So that's pretty good. That gets us going here. Alright, so I'm liking this. This is turning out nice. Alright, let's just put some dash back in here. So I'm trying to think if I want to recess this. I can't recess it too much because I lose I have to put something on top of that engine. So yeah, I can't really recess that. That's fine. Let me try something here. Definitely, I can't fit a big one. I don't like the big ones anyways. But yeah. Okay, so that's that. We use one of Sky's HUDs. Did I end up routing something through there? No, I didn't. Beautiful. That's even better. I was routing a bunch of stuff through before, so that made it tough to make space. So I'm trying to get, you know, all my gauges set up here. And does a keypad need the space? I hope it doesn't. I hope a keypad doesn't interact. It doesn't have an interactable front face. If it, I think it does. See, that interacts there, but I should be able to put it down here at my foot. Yeah, see, it has that interactable face, which makes life a little bit difficult. Okay, I should be able to figure this out here. I think I can go like, definitely can go like that. Let me put that keypad here. Alright, so this is going to be the keypad for the navigation system here, so I need the big keypad. And then under here, so keypads have interactable faces, so I'm going to do a small keypad here. Okay, so that'll be for like altitude hold. And does a toggle have an interactable face? I don't know if it does, so let me see. It should. Yeah, see, like that won't fit there. That's fine. Okay. And then, so what I was thinking is, I think that's going to be plenty. I was going to try to really stress to try to get some more space out of there, but I don't think I'm going to need it really. I was going to try to put more panels in and stuff, but I think I'm pretty good on panels actually. Okay, like that. And then, like, I could put a couple dials here or monitors. But, you know, I'll fill that out. So those could be monitors, something that won't interact with the dash. But that's a pretty good setup. So that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 times 4. So 28, 28 individual dials. So that's not bad. That's pretty good. As you can see, center of gravity is pretty much almost bang under the rotor at this point, which is good. As I put some of these microcontrols in, it might drag it slightly aftward, but that's something we can worry about. Not thrilled with this design of the tail, but you know, one thing I was going to do is maybe I was almost going to tube the tail up, but I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. I'll also go back and work on the tail later. Okay, so we have, let's try to fire this engine up. So I had this going before. You see, this one is, I think, the engine panel. So this definitely needs to go back on. All right, so that needs to go back on. Yeah, so like battery, clutch. So this has a flywheel on it too. Should keep it a little bit more, not necessarily necessary, but not necessarily necessary, but it's gonna keep it at the same RPS, and as I do more things, it's gonna be less likely to slow it down. Fuel here. Radiator. Alright, so we were able to fit most of the stuff we needed in there, which is good. Panel. So this panel here was, I had it set up for starting this motor as it was. This goes back out to the panel. I'll work on that later. That's engine. Need the engine connected to be able to do it, and then that's seat. Okay, let's check and see what number I have for the engine starter. I think it was 1 anyways. 1 coming off panel. Okay. So let me just make a flip switch. I should be able to reach back to this one. This one needs to be just an indicator, a dial. 3 needs to be a flip switch. Engine start /stop. All right. Let's see here. That should be good. Panel connected. Yep. Spawn it. Infinite electricity should be on. It is. Okay, good. So let's see if I can fire this engine back up. So this is the new engine. Okay. And as you can see, I still can reach that. Alright, so perfect. So I'm liking this better. I'm liking the bigger cabin. I think that's beneficial here to us. That's going to definitely be better having that larger cabin. The door underneath I really dig because that's going to make it so that I can control the winches from my cable, and then the person that I'm bringing up can come up on this outside door cable, and then I come up in the middle. I can close the hatch from the thing, jump off the harness, and then pick them up, put them in the seat, and then get back on and go down. So that should work well. All right, good. So let's start gearing this up. So 60 RPS is the max you want on the rotor. So let me see. I think I'm going to a maximum of 15. Yeah. So see this maximum of 15 on the RPS of the motor. So so if we do a 3-to-1 here, that's 45 RPS. So that keeps us within less than 60. I'm gonna go a 9-to-1 on this prop. That's a lot, but it that gives us a lot of speed. And then on the tail rotor here, let's try a 2-to-1. I want to cut the blade numbers down here. I really want this to be a 4-blade at most. I want this to be a 3 or 4-blade at most. 4-blade, I think. I'll make this a 4-blade, maybe 5-bladed prop. So that looks good. Let's start it up with all these. Do I have all my... Where is the gyro? Let me see. Do I have connections here for the... Okay, so that is the gyro here. Let me hook the gyro. See if I can fly this again. And we'll end it here in a second. And what does this panel here have on it? Doesn't matter. I'm going to I'll reattach it. Alright, we'll reattach that. Alright, beautiful. So that's good. This whole thing here, the proof of concept, that can go. Alright, so I think we're in good shape here to do a flight test. Let me, I forget what number I have turning this on, putting on hover mode 6. Okay, good. Let's give this a run. I need a throttle for the prop. You know, I'll do a actual up-down throttle in a, you know, when it as my final throttle, but okay, that's interactable. That sucks. That's a pain in the butt. All right, I'm not going to worry about the propeller. I'm just going to get this airborne. I'm going to mostly testing these settings I just put in. 3-to-1, 9-to-1, and this is a 2-to-1 ratio going there. And let's see how that functions. Yep, they're all facing the right way. Okay, so I'm going to just do that. Real quick test. And then we'll end on that. All right, my 1 and 2 keys are my throttle up, throttle down. So once it starts up, I'm going to throttle up with 1. We'll hit 6. Do I have trims in? I don't. Let me start adding some tail rotor. Okay, as you can see, doing well now. Very nice and stable now. Taking off the auto hover. Yeah, very nice, controllable, flyable. We have good roll authority there. Have good collective. And as you hear, the RPS isn't changing much on the engine. One of the reasons is because we have that flywheel that keeps the RPS more stable. So I'm hand flying it. The gyro is still connected, but I have, you know, I don't have auto hover on. And then we are currently, I had a lot of trim in there, so eventually I'll put in an auto yaw trim in there. But again, you know, kind of like following the pattern of Rougeau is, you know, it is get in there, and you know, it was episode 31's when I released Rougeau, so you know, it took that many episodes to kind of get it finished to a downloadable state where I was confident having it on the workshop. And then, you know, I can add features to this. But yeah, see, flying very well. That prop at a 9-to-1 ratio, that should give us a really nice speed. We're going to need some winglets, most likely, because the rotor starts having issues doing roll stability at high speeds. So I might redo the tail. I think I'm going to redo the tail. I think I'm going to make the tail like a tubular design and put a put the tail wheel on the tail itself. But yeah, so this is flying beautifully. This is really nice. Let's just click on the auto hover. You see it's not having any issues jumping around. The closer you get that main rotor to 60 RPS, the more likely you are to have an issue where it starts going crazy. So we're at 45. So we have 15 RPS below where that is. So that's good. You know, I could even put more gearboxes on the tail and on the main rotor to try to cut the RPS down on the engine. But we're back to having the 2 fuel tanks. I think this is going to end up sipping fuel pretty well. So, you know, testament to kind of its maneuverability. Let's just fly it right in the hangar here. You know, so this is nice and stable. Very, very good right now. I'm very happy with this. I'm glad I rebuilt the engine. I like the new aesthetic choices. That front prop has no problem going 9-to-1. Once I start putting load on it, I actually wasn't all the way up at my max throttle either. So, yeah, so this is going to be great. So, all right, so let me save this. Let's see. KD. I forget how to actually spell it. All right, so that's episode 70. All right. 70 or 71. I can't even remember at this point. So let's end it there. That was great. Really got this up and running. So what to expect in the next one? So next one, really start to get some stuff done on landing gear. I'm going to put in some gear. I might actually do a conventional gear. I might put a nose wheel and mains. I think that's actually probably what I'm going to do. I might redo this tail and put a tube tail on there. And that will kind of get us to the point where it's functionally operating, and then, you know, if it's functionally operating, you start getting into, you know, a little bit of design, and I want to get this to the point where we can go using rescue missions, and so that means I need to import my navigation system. That's a very important feature to be able to do that. Autopilot's not so much. That can come later. Altitude hold, heading hold are the main things. I don't want too much autopilot. I enjoy flying. That was one of the things that bored me when I was flying for the airlines was too much automation. It made it boring flying, and so you know, it didn't want to fly. So you know, I'd rather do some more manual flight and add some more control surfaces. All right, so thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.